In just a few years, ordinary people became millionaires overnight through crypto. Teenagers, students, taxi drivers, office workers, retired teachers. People who had never invested a single dollar in their lives. Some made more money in 1 month than they had earned in their entire careers. The stories were everywhere. The headlines were impossible to ignore. And for millions of people around the world, it felt like the greatest financial opportunity of a lifetime. But while a few got rich, millions of others lost everything chasing the same dream. And the question no one was asking was, why? It started with hope. Bitcoin exploded in value. Stories of overnight millionaires flooded the internet. Online forums lit up with screenshots of impossible returns. People were doubling their money, then tripling it, then doing it again. Suddenly, everyone wanted in. Social media turned crypto into a lifestyle. Lamborghinis, luxury apartments, private jets. Screenshots of massive profits posted by 22-year-olds. And the message was always the same. This changed my life. It can change yours too. It wasn't just advertising. It was something deeper. It was identity. Slowly, investing stopped feeling like investing. It started feeling like a movement, a rebellion against the old financial system, a shortcut out of ordinary life. And for people who had always felt left behind by the economy, that message was almost impossible to resist.
Before we go further, if you're new here, this channel is about one thing: understanding the hidden psychology behind money, why people make irrational financial decisions, why markets behave the way they do, and what separates the people who build wealth from the ones who lose it chasing it. If that sounds like something you want to understand, hit subscribe right now. Because what comes next in this documentary is exactly the kind of thing they never taught you in school. Let's continue. Here's something most people don't realize. The human brain is not designed to stay rational during extreme excitement. When we see others getting rich, our logical thinking weakens. Our emotional brain takes over. Psychologists have studied this extensively. They call it fear of missing out, or simply FOMO, the fear that everyone else is winning while you're standing still, being left behind, watching an opportunity pass you by forever. And that feeling, that raw, urgent feeling, pushes people into decisions they would never make calmly. Buying coins they don't understand, borrowing money to invest, selling assets they actually needed, taking risks that could destroy years of savings. But in the moment, it doesn't feel like a risk. It feels like courage. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Because financial courage without financial knowledge is just gambling with extra steps. During the peak of the crypto boom, everything looked easy. Coins were rising thousands of % in a matter of weeks. Random tokens with no real purpose were making people rich. Influencers with millions of followers were promoting the next big thing. Every dip looked like a buying opportunity. Every correction looked like a temporary setback before the next all-time high. And slowly, a dangerous belief started forming in people's minds. This time is different. It's one of the most expensive sentences in financial history. This time is different. They said it in 1929 before the stock market crashed. They said it in 2000 before the dot-com bubble burst. And they said it again during the crypto craze. Because when prices keep going up, the brain starts to believe they always will. It confuses recent history with permanent reality. And many people made life-altering financial decisions based on a few months of data in one of the most speculative markets ever created. Markets don't move on emotions forever. Eventually, reality always returns. Then came the crashes. Not one crash, several. Bitcoin fell 50%, then 80%, then more. Altcoins that had made people millionaires on paper dropped 90%, 95%, 99%. Some projects turned out to be outright scams. Developers disappeared with investor funds overnight. Others simply collapsed under the weight of hype, with nothing real behind them. Entire ecosystems, built on promises and speculation, unraveled in days.
billions of dollars vanished. Not slowly, suddenly. And millions of people watched their savings disappear on a screen. Some lost their retirement money, money they had worked decades to save. Some lost their homes, having borrowed against property to invest in tokens that no longer existed. Some lost their relationships, families torn apart by financial decisions made in secret. Others kept holding, staring at red numbers on their phones every morning, telling themselves, "It will come back. It always comes back." And sometimes it did. But sometimes it didn't. And the wait cost them everything in between. But here's the part that surprises people most. Even after losing money, many continued chasing the next coin, the next opportunity, the next wave. They didn't stop. They doubled down. Why? Because gambling and investing activate similar reward systems inside the brain. When you win, even a small amount, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical triggered by sugar, by drugs, by social approval. And small wins create powerful emotional highs. Once people experience that feeling, they start chasing it again. Not logically, not strategically, emotionally. The cycle becomes win, euphoria, lose, desperation, chase, relief. Repeat. Neuroscientists call this a variable reward loop. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines so addictive. The unpredictability doesn't drive people away. It pulls them in. Because the brain doesn't just want the reward, it wants the possibility of the reward. And that possibility is worth almost any price. Crypto didn't just expose financial risk. It exposed something far deeper, something that was already there, waiting for the right trigger. Human psychology. Our desire for fast success, our terror of being average, our deep, uncomfortable obsession with shortcuts, our need to believe that we are the exception. In a world where millions of people feel economically trapped, where wages feel stagnant, where the gap between the rich and everyone else grows wider every year, the promise of becoming rich overnight becomes almost irresistible. It isn't just greed, it's hope. And you cannot blame people for being hopeful. But hope without discipline, without knowledge, without a clear understanding of risk, is not a strategy. It's a lottery ticket dressed up in financial language. And the house almost always wins. Crypto itself isn't the enemy. Technology isn't the enemy. Some of the most innovative financial infrastructure in history has been built on blockchain technology. That is real. That matters. But blind emotion is dangerous. In any market, in any era, in any investment. Because the moment people stop thinking clearly, markets become hunting grounds. And the people who understand psychology, who understand your psychology, will always find a way to profit from it. The people who survive long-term in investing are usually not the smartest people in the room. They're not the ones with the most information. They're not the ones who found the best coin first. They're the most disciplined. The ones who said no when the excitement was highest. The ones who asked, "What if I'm wrong?" before asking, "How much can I make?" The ones who treated risk like reality, not like something that only happened to other people. That's not a talent. That's a skill. And it can be learned.